Today we really have a special guest, not from Canada, not from USA. This is from the other globe, which is Singapore. And has been a very good of mine, and we have been connecting since last year when I invited him to my program in Atomy International 101 Global Interview. Then I've been attending his Thursday weekly meetings, and he invited me to become one of his speaker on one of the session. And now here we are. We have the Sierra Rose Master James Chung. I'm going to spotlight so everyone can see him. Everyone can see James?
Yeah, I think we're good. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. So today we invited him not because an accident or a coincidence, because we want to learn, because we just started the new year 2022. We want to start strong at the finishing line, but we're gonna find out directly from him. But before that, I want to invite all the attendees to open your microphone. If you don't mind, open your video as well, just to honor the speakers and all attendings. Right? We're gonna recite our company motto. Sorry. Okay, in the count of three. Company motto, are you ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Cherish the spirit.
Spirit.
Create the vision. Follow the
Follow the faith.
Serve in humility. Aja,
Aja.
Aja.
Thank you so much, everyone. So like I said, we're gonna watch our newest Atomy company profile 2022. It was just released today, actually. So we are so privileged to watch this at the very first time together, right? So let me mute all so it's not gonna be a disturbance.
The company that has remained steadfast and kept the right principles. The company headed toward the world with the right principles. The company that grows with its customers and shares generously. We are Atomy. Atomy, which has been growing ever since its establishment in 2009, achieved 2.2 trillion Korean won in global sales in 2021 and surpassed 16 million global members. Atomy's #1 goal of going beyond customer satisfaction to customer success continues to be its top priority to this day. Providing good quality products at reasonable prices, Atomy's competitiveness lies in the nature of distribution. The absolute quality and absolute price product philosophy that Atomy has practiced since its inception is included in all of its products, such as health functional foods, beauty, living, food, fashion, home appliances, and more. Hemohim, which has been the top seller in its industry for 7 consecutive years, has passed 1.7 trillion Korean won in cumulative sales. It has gotten international patents in 21 countries and is forging a unique new path for health functional food products. Absolute Skincare, which has become one of the best-selling cosmetics in the industry with sales of 100 billion Korean won every year since its launch, was recognized for its advanced technology with King Sejong Award from the Korean Intellectual Property Office in 2021, for the first time in the cosmetics industry. The Fame, another luxury cosmetic product reborn with upgraded ingredients and technology, is also loved by consumers as it reflects Atomy's product philosophy. Atomy is practicing customer-centered management in all of its corporate activities, and this was recognized by becoming the industry's first to acquire customer-centered management certification for 2 consecutive years. starting with the US branch in 2010. Atomy is a global company which opened 22 branches in Asia, South America, Oceania, and Europe, with 16 million members worldwide. Atomy opened branches in New Zealand, Turkey, the United Kingdom, Kazakhstan, and Kyrgyzstan, and is planning to open 20 more branches within the next 5 years. Atomy's GSGS strategy, which stands for Global Sourcing Global Sales, allows the supply of products that align with the absolute quality and absolute price philosophy through Atomy's global sales network. Atomy's success system, in which the company runs all seminars, allows any member to succeed regardless of individual ability. This is the driving force behind Atomy's distinctive growth. The next generation of online and offline distribution broadcasters, which presents Atomy's vision to members around the world regardless of time and space. Entertainment and media, which converges business and culture. Atomy provides the vision of a global success system which transcends time and space by providing a variety of services. Atomy provides various support measures for partnering companies such as cash payment within 1 week from delivery, interest-free operating fund loans, and joint quality management systems, among others. These create a culture of accompanied growth. Sharing is a mission that all companies must fulfill. Atomy's executives, employees, partnering companies, and members all practice sharing together to improve the lives of all members of society. Whenever sharing is needed around the world, global branches will be united to support happiness for all. The company that holds true to its principles while creating a new distribution culture. The company expanding globally with the trust of people around the world. The company that dreams of customer success while moving beyond customer satisfaction. The company that cherishes the spirit. We are proud Atomy.
There it is, everyone. Let's give another big round of applause for our Atomy company, right? I'm so proud beyond beliefs, right? Without further ado, I will introduce our guest speaker tonight, Sharon Rose Master James Chung from Atomy Singapore. He is a Commonwealth Drive Education Center leaders, and he's been doing Atomy, I believe, over 5 years already. That we're gonna hear his story anyway. And yes, James, the microphone is yours now.
All right, thank you, Mike Sejadi. Thank you, Sharon Rose Master Mike. It's a privilege and it's an honor for me to be here to share with partners from different parts of the world, and I'm quite grateful for the fact that you guys make time to be here this evening and over here this morning. Same here. I think I can make use of this time for us to learn and grow together. So I'm just going to run straight into the program, the topic for today, and trust that everybody will have a good time. While some of you who are with me on the Thursday session generally may have heard of this presentation. but I always want to give it a new twist and a new look at some of the topic that you run through over and over again, just like you would, talk about vitamin C or talk about business opportunity. You probably will be repeating some of the things over and over again, but yet each time you're invigorated when you talk about the same topic again, or when you basically revise and you said the same thing, and each time it gets stronger and stronger within you. And also, hopefully, that applies the same for everyone who hears it the second time, third time. Just like we attended Success Academy, we recited the company's motto, we talk about a lot of things that we are already quite familiar with, and yet we are doing that over and over again. And that underlies the importance of repetition, okay, which is the mother of memory. Okay, when you say it over and over again, you remember better. When you remember better, you have more to offer from within you, when you talk to people, because that's critical, right? Atomy is quite different in that you may notice, perhaps over time, that we don't generally repeat ourselves, even though we are talking about the same topic, because each time there are so many different angles to the same topic or the same phrase, and there are different angles that look at things. And I challenge you to broaden your perspective, right, when it comes to repeating the same topic or the same discussion, because all of us are different and all of us needed to look at things from different angle. So this session is about starting strong at the finishing line. That was what I did after 5 years in Atomy, and 3 years of doing it in a way that I was told to do and kind of inherited from our leader team. While Atomy is about a team business, at the end of the day, I have been brought up in the sense that, Atomy is a business of the upline. Okay, and that was what I was told. And then I realized that I have responsibility for the people that I bring into my team and to look after them. And that is when, when teams begin to develop and you find there is a certain character, there's a certain area in which the team thrives better than the larger team that involves the uplines team, right? Then and where needs differ because of different population group, different regional and cultural differences, then I realized that there is sometimes, or rather in the Atomy business, is so different from the other network marketing or MLM setups that we know about. And so this year, actually, it started with COVID period, which is last year, 2020, slightly before that, maybe even 2019, when things were, after the third year in the business and things were not moving in a way that you wish for, then I began to, take a hold of the reins, so to speak, to begin to drive it in a new direction. And starting strong at the finishing line has always been something in my mind. In other words, when we start off, we want to look at the end. You want to know the end from the beginning, right? And that's what I've been telling myself. You got to know the end from the beginning. So we just started the year. So let's look at what you want to be by the end of the year. You can watch me as I grow, or you can grow with me. That's what I always tell my team. When I started out, it was on a very, it was basically the result of window shopping. My wife was on a window shopping kind of thing and just looking around in one of the shopping centers, and It's not a full-fledged shopping center. It was more like a retail section of a corporate office building, right? If you can kind of imagine what it's like, you know, the upper floors are all offices and corporate offices and all that, and the lower two floors in that building that she was with, that was restaurants and, you know, certain retail shops and all that. And she was like, after lunch, kind of doing window shopping one of those days when she was free after we were back from the US and China for an overseas stint where we worked overseas for about 7 years in total. And she was back and she was, you know, catching up. And then she met a friend. She met a friend that she hasn't met for that 7 years, you know, somebody that she knew for a little while, an office colleague. And then she noticed the difference of that person in terms of the, you know, face, and she looks very good. And so my wife began to kind of, you know, just catch up with her and find out what's going on. And the moment she did that, this friend of hers brought her to the back of that retail shop where it was all the Atomy products, you know, which is quite typical. You'll still find this kind of a hideout. All right. And anyways, that's different people will do the Atomy business in a slightly different way, and this is one of those ways where people who own shops or who run a brick and mortar business basically would put up the Atomy product somewhere in the back. And I think that is permitted so long as you're not putting the products up front by the window in full display, or you put up Atomy you know, banners and brochures, or you use the word Atomy's name, or you use the company's logo without permission, then that would not be allowed and that would not be encouraged. So anyhow, it was more like her kind of presentation for customers that she knew personally. So I think that is also admissible, and went to the back, looked at some of the products, you know, and she was just curious, more like being friendly than anything else, because we're actually very particular about the kind of products we use and things like that. So she obliged a friend when she was being broached about, you know, joining in a membership just to get access to products. And she wasn't intending to buy anything, but all right, just to oblige the friend, fill up the application form and brought it home. And I looked at it and I saw the word sponsor and I said, that is MLM, definitely. Sponsor is a taboo word for me. Okay, but somehow I was curious with the name Atomy, and that has always intrigued me. Atom, and you describe how atom it can be, it is Atomy, right? Which is truly an adjective to describe how small you can get. And that intrigued me in a way. How small can we get? Everybody wants to be big. Everyone wants to be louder. Everyone wants to be heard, to be seen, you know, to carry, to command a following, to you know, be known, right? Everybody wants to be big. How many wants to be small? And yet, interestingly, we all know it is the small that will confound the wise. It is the small that will overcome the big and mighty, actually. You think about a small little screw that can hold you know, two huge pieces of instrument furniture together. You think about the screw that holds the car door together, right? The size of the door or the car as compared to the small little, you know, bolt and nuts, right? And we do not underestimate the smallness of things that would literally turn around a gigantic enterprise. Right? And that intrigued me, Atomy, so what it's all about. And the next thing that intrigued me, of course, was about Him, something that I was looking for as a health coach, and, you know, helping people in health renewals, you know, improvement, spirit, mind, and body, which is total health as far as I was concerned. And I got intrigued with the product Him, because I was looking for something that can support the immune system more directly, I was looking for something that is herbal, that is tonic, that has very good research coming from the East versus those coming from the West that I was already exposed to quite a bit during my stint in the US. And at that time, of course, I was helping people also improve their health and doing personal detox programs, stay-in programs, and helping people spirit, mind, body, because we spend like 30 to 50 hours per person per day to help them get over the line, so to speak. All right. And I was very interested in the product and I didn't let it go. So the 2 weeks thereabout, the 2 weeks following the application form, I was literally giving it due diligence, take a search and Atomy, Google it, checked it out, and I even went to the meetings in the night on my own, uninvited. I just went there, look at what people are saying, look at the presentation and all that. And I was not impressed. And I placed, the presentation is just so typical MLM, and the way they presented was just so typical, selling, and I didn't like anything of that. But somehow the product had a pretty good hold, because I was looking at the research, and I said, this is really quite interesting. For the sake of the product, I should just continue to hang on to that. And then following on was a 9-month whereby I was just trying the product bit by bit. I was very cautious, very me, very self-centric, like every one of us, like every professional. And in the end, it took me that long to finally say, hey, this is something that we can do. This is something that will be interesting. It was only when my downline received some, commission, that I realized I can have commission as well. That wasn't on my mind. It was purely product, reasonable price, and quality products. And I can share it with my client, my customer, and that's how it all got started. And then when one of my customer client, who is now my Diamond Master, has been receiving rebates regularly, then I realized that this is something that is worthwhile looking into it. And so I landed myself here now, after all these years, how to start strong at the finishing line, because then and there, when I started, I didn't have the finishing line in mind. I was more like, okay, let's just go get people. Let's just talk about Atomy, and let's just, go for the mastership challenges. And that was the way it was brought to me. And that's the way I tested myself to say, all right, I'll be small, I'll follow, I'll toe the line, and I'll move along and see what happens. And then now after three years thereabout, when I was looking at the nature and the characteristics of my team and the people, and I realized that the same strategy may not apply for the team, right? And so I decided to really look at my team and what they need and what would help them, and begin to move to realize this ideal of starting strong at the finishing line. What do I really want? What do I wish for my team? And how would I wish for them to have it? And so I'm working hard for my team. That's what it means, start strong at the finishing line. But I'm also looking at how to improve yourself when you start off. And so this is the gist of the presentation, how you can improve yourself and do well, because you can only offer what you have. So I come to you now with the idea of coaching and behavioral adjustments, and basically a change of mindset, an ability to rebound. That's what resiliency is all about, an ability to rebound from all the setbacks and hiccup along the way. And so I present to you this topic, And we want to look at several things here this this evening, sorry, and it's about what network marketing really is all about, because the chairman talks about rewriting. And so while we are in a network marketing business nature, yet we ought to consider rewriting and not repeating some of the common strategies in network marketing. And it is so easy to just repeat and do the same thing. It's so easy to just not rehash anything and basically just follow. That is true, but that may not be you. I find that if you want to, aim for longevity, you want to do well for the long run, if you want to run the marathon, you need to do it in a way of, you need to do it the way you want to make a difference, right? That would be my take. And that's just entirely from my experience, so that you will never run out of things you offer, because it is coming out from you, all right, versus trying to rehash and repeat the same thing, which is typical of network marketing, which many people turn you down or never have the courage to pick it up, even though they join you as a customer. I realized that you need to think about what you offer, because it is based on attraction, it is based on inspiration to help people stay on and reap the benefits of what Atomys framework can offer to us. So we want to get down to our DNA, as in what we ought to be doing as an Atomy member within the Atomy company, which is so different from the typical network marketing company. It does offer all those differences, even competitive difference. And yet the person doing the Atomy business, walking their talk becomes a factor to consider. Are you walking your talk, or are you just repeating what is being told? And do you offer something that is unique, in a manner within the framework, and yet unique enough to attract, to command a following, to help your people achieve what they should achieve, right? And how to implement that. So point 2 and point 3 will be kind of incorporated together in my presentation here this evening, and of course a time for Q&A. So let's talk about rewriting a network marketing business. How would you make it different? Atomy presents itself in 7 areas as I would look at it. Okay, and the first, of course, have to do with the company motto, and of course, if you look at it, quite visible and yet not entirely visible if you're not observant. We will be looking at company motto, we'll be looking at principle culture, we'll be looking at life scenario plan, and all these are very different from other companies. 8 steps to success, 8 core daily actions. I add them necessary actions, and that is your DNA in that sense. And then the success system, which is about training, about coming together, about camaraderie, about building together, and the Complan mastership strategy. So while you have all 7 areas that would, if you follow them, rewrite your network marketing experience, I find that the 8 core daily necessary actions, which is your DNA then, would really make the difference. And you have to be doing it so that your team can follow you. And even when you do it, you will find your team will have a hard time following you, because one of the key factors that affect all of us has to do with the mindset. While we talk about it in a very general sense, I will never be able to overemphasize the fact that the mindset adjustment is so fundamental and yet so critical. And it's on a daily basis, especially if you're on a marathon race, so to speak. After running for 20 minutes, after running for an hour, you will basically question yourself as to whether you're doing the right thing, as to whether you're going to make it, as to whether you know how to resolve any form of boredom that comes in. And the same with the Atomy business. After a while, because it's repetitive in that sense, once you've established the 7 factors and you are doing the 7 factors all over again every day and all that, you will run into boredom. You will run into the corner, the wall, whereby you wonder what's next. And especially so if you're not getting the result that you want, and especially so it is not getting the result as quickly as you want, and that impacts the mindset, right? What you are doing, what is repeatable, and what is fast enough. So I find that if you keep to your 8 core daily actions while they are repeatable, and sometimes people get bored with it because human nature wants something new, all right? Yet again, it is the repeatable, it is the thing that you do day in and day out that will establish you. The routine will establish you. The routine establishes the character, okay, and then of course establishes the destiny. Okay, so you have a thought, okay, the sequence goal, you have a thought, you have an idea, all right, you talk about it often, okay, you find yourself sharing, offering what is in your mind, what is in your heart. So the thought will give rise to the words, and then the words will create the action. When you talk about it, you speak in faith, you speak in your belief, you will find yourself taking action, or you have to take action to fulfill what you are saying and what's in your mind. So the action part is very important. And then when you take action, you start to repeat those actions, and that become your habits or your routine in that sense. When you have your habits and your routine, that establishes your character, the nature, whereby how you go about things, how you respond to things. So that is very critical, okay? So that establishes your character and therefore determine your destiny in life, right? So let's talk about how to get down to our DNA. Okay, when you are rewriting network marketing business, besides the 7th factor, the key is to get down to our DNA. And I want to present it in a form of a training that I do in other aspects of my work. And you will find similarities, which underlies the fact that the Atomy ideas, while it may not be new to some people, yet it is very, very new. And it can be very new depending on the way you're going to do it, depending on the way in which you're going to approach it, right? So your daily foundation, the things that you can do, and these are what is known as success rituals, something that would determine your success, and you do it almost ritualistically, at least initially, until later on when it becomes your habit and becomes your character. That's where you can add the finishing touches, you can add the individual differences, you can add the, so to speak, the various touch-up that will make you different, because you are creative, you are enterprising, you are attracting people, and so on, right? In one of the presentation that I do, and based on the acronym DREAM, I put D as defining, as in we always must look at our definition. What does it mean if you achieve mastership? What does it mean when you have a team? What does it mean when you start to have your commission? What does it mean? You have to redefine and redefine so that you are updated with the needs of the new members that join your team. You are constantly adapted to the circumstances so that you can use them to your utmost advantage, so that you can really, how to put it, be relevant in that sense, and yet be balanced with your philosophy and your faith, in that sense, your value system. You don't want to be relevant at the expense of your value system, in a sense that, oh, I want to be updated, I want to be relevant, and then I dump my value system, or I have a new value system. You want to think about that. Again, what does it mean? Okay, do you change your value system? So you have to redefine in a way. You have to think about your definition, right? So that's what we mean by foundation. In the dream, I talk about definition. So let's go back to daily foundation to define them again, if you have to, the daily ritual. And to finish, of course, with that foundation, you will finish successful. That is the aim, that is the objective. Type a 1 in the chat so that you are not falling asleep, and that you think about finishing successful. If that is what you want to, that is what you wish for, I'd like you to respond to that, because when you type and you mention so, then you are committing to a clear goal. All right, thank you for that. I'm seeing that in quite a lot of people, even though I think I'm meeting you guys for the first time. All right, and but it's okay. We all want to finish successful, including myself, especially we are at the start of the year and we have at the end of the year to look back and hopefully determine now that when you look back, it will be joyous, it will be rewarding, it will be, encouraging, rather than wishing that you have done better. I'm not sure if you looked back at 2021 last month, you look back the entire year. I know some of us have been together with me for the last whole year. You attended training, you've been with me for a stretch of time now. And when you look back, whether those training were helpful for you, whether they kept you on the momentum, on the, on the roll, so to speak, when we talk about longevity in Atomy, or did people fall out? Surely there are people who fall out along the way. And therefore, this is the, as the story goes, whether it is hare and tortoise race, whether you're the hare, H-A-R-E, or you're the tortoise, all right? And whether you're moving too fast or you're moving steadily with momentum, you're moving in an aerobic style, which means you do something regular, routine, repeatedly, and you can finish strong, okay? And I want you to know that in a marathon race, it has to be aerobic, it has to be repetitive, and yet it can be new every time, okay? The newness is embedded in the repetition, whereby you are doing something new, something interesting, and that is what we want to look at. All right, so let's move on. So success rituals, a series of actions, okay, that you regularly and you repeatedly do them in a precise manner. So you think about rituals again, there are things you need to get over with, at least initially, until that routine and that habit sets in, and then you are set for success. So, and there is a rhythm involved, okay? Just like when you run, it's a left, right, flip, flop, left, right. As you are running, you can hum a tune, you can, when you run on the treadmill, or you run on the free road or whatever, you get into your rhythm. Some people listen to music or something like that, and you get that running going, and then you get healthier as you repeat that without even thinking about that. Okay, and the newness is in the music, the newness is in who you meet along the way, the newness is in, when you run different paths, you see different things. Okay, the newness can be in the rhythm, in the pace, when you're going up slope or when you're going down slope, and so on and so forth. Right? So there is newness in the repetition. You need to remember that. So look for that newness when you are doing the 8 daily necessary action, the DNA, right? So let's move on. So you define the foundation. Basically, it's you create the state. You create that peak performance, which is determined first thing in the morning, right? And then you combine the mind, the emotion, the physical. So you're thinking, you are sensing or feeling, and then you take the action. So that is a solid foundation. So you need to think about, okay, now I sit myself down. That is an action. I want to look at what I want to achieve for the day. I'm thinking of watching the company's video, like in this case, watching the new company introduction video. Yeah, you can watch that and sense what the company is trying to do, sense the progression, be in awe if you can. It can be deliberate at the facility, the show of professionalism in the Atomy background, of the company that is happening on a day-to-day basis, the research, the production, everything that goes about in the back, all right? That will support you, that is meant to stand by you, to support you, right? And then when you sit yourself down to think about these things and to become encouraged and to know that there is a lot more going for you than against you, and then you are prepared to carry out the next action, all right? So you will be watching your video, your next action could be using products, or you already used the products and now you sit yourself down to watch a company's video or to listen to some training, take some notes, and have something to share with the person you're going to meet today or you're going to talk to today. So there's a sequence to the 8 core daily. Follow it like a student, follow it like a pupil, all right? And follow it because it is your necessary action to shape you up, to condition you so that you are ready for success. In fact, may I add, when you do this, you are already in success mode, right? And success just grow and grow. It is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. And this is a worthy ideal. Sit yourself down, think about what you want to achieve for the day, go through the 8 core, all right, and be on a success mentality, so to speak. Train yourself out to do that regularly. You may have to discipline yourself in the sense that you have to deliberately, by the act of your will, cut off and remove any negative sense. Oh yeah, it's very tiring. Oh yeah, I wonder when I'm gonna make it. Is this real? Is this really gonna cut it? Right? All these kind of negative introduction of negative thoughts and negative feelings and anything that will bring you down, that will cause you to be in a state of inaction and keep you there. And they tend to do that. They are there to steal and to destroy. They didn't come naturally. They come to steal, even to kill some of your dreams and your hopes and to destroy. Okay, and for those who are familiar with this saying, you know what I'm talking about. And literally is to take away a sense of hope. And if you are without hope, then it is not a good state to be in. And the chairman said that at the end of any form of hopelessness or any lack of hope, you just need to hope in that. You just need to go and hope in moving forward. Right, so a strong foundation. Let's go on very quickly. So what do you do? How to take action on that? You need a journal. You need a journal. You need maybe just a notepad in your computer. You need a laptop, a tablet, and write down your notes. You can do that. Get a journal, okay? Type a 2 for me if you already have a journal or you will get a journal as I suggested. You need a journal. You already have one. Okay, you already have one. And which one is that? Well, you already have access to a journal. Anyone want to suggest now? Type it in your chat. What is the answer there? What is your journal that you already have in your hands that we can start doing the foundation of sitting down, watching the video, and doing a couple of things as your morning routine? You can do a journal, a book, but you also have your life scenario booklet. All right, remember your life scenario booklet. This is, okay, let me pull it back. Okay, there you are. This is the journal, all right, that you already have. Okay, it is already there. Yes, Denise, right? Use it. And if you were able to get hold of the limited edition, the hardcover life scenario book from Atomy HQ, okay, let's try to find one, look for one. It has very different from this one. This one is a Singapore version whereby, you know, it's repeated every month. You fill your daily thing, all right. But the Korea version at the back have a lot of empty pages for you to write your notes. And that is the point that I wanted to come to, all right? So you may have two books, your life scenario book for the purpose of the Atomy business, and then just a jotter book or some kind of a, you know, electronic notepad to write down your thoughts. Okay, journaling has always been recognized as a very powerful tool to motivate yourself, to keep track with what's going on, and for you to look back. It is also very powerful because it is the evidence to the cognitive mind to offset and destroy any emotional state or any depression inclination. The answer to those discouragement or those lack of encouragement or those despondent state mentally is actually the evidence which you can read and encourage yourself with, which is your journal, which you can look at and get inspired to take an action. That is the journal, right? So you commit your mind to something that you can take an action, that you can think about, that you can preoccupy yourself rather than get caught up in an ongoing, the word is rumination of negative and discouraging thoughts or words. All right, so you have to be conscious of that. I know it's easier said than done, and having all said and done, there will be many more said than done. Okay, so you need to, after we said it, what's in the mind, you ought to do it, and that the sequence carry on from there. All right, so let's move on. So your success journal has a couple of things that I'm going to recommend for you to do. Okay, and and that is you got to be able to write them so that you can measure them, and when you're able to measure them, you are able to improve on them. Okay, you can ask your 3 daily questions, document some gratitude, document some mindset, some personal mantras or personal motto, I call it, and document some goals. Some of them you can put them into your life scenario plan booklet. Some of them you can just write in your personal journal, which is just blank pieces of, you know, papers and empty spaces that you can type in and write your points. So what are they? I'm going to run through them quicker now, so that I'm sure a lot of you kind of know well. So one of the key things you can do is think about yesterday, think about how you can improve, and think about what you're going to do today, how you're going to apply them today. So it's always looking back. and then quickly coming up to speed with what you have acquired and learned, and then applying them, right? I think that everyone knows, just 3 areas. And then what can we right away record these points? Why? Why can we right away? Anybody want to suggest? Why can you right away record these points? Right? Because they are fresh in your mind, right? What recently happened? You don't want to look back 1 month, 1 week, 1 year. You cannot remember a lot of things. And because you cannot remember in clear details, you will go into wanderings, okay? And you will have your imagination creep in. And generally, we tend not to have a very positive imagination. We tend to imagine the worst. Because by nature, the human nature is not positive, but human nature tends to be negative. By nature, we tend to, some of us tend to be lazy, some of us tend to be despondent very easily, some of us tend to look at the fear part of us. Fewer of us replaces, or technically speaking, have the skill to replace the fear with faith. And that is actually a skill. And that is the answer to being able to go on a longevity when it comes to Atomy. Let me move on. So you can record these things because they are fresh and you want to put them down and you will not lose them. You don't have to text your mind on these things. All right? Put them on paper, free your mind to positive imagination, encouragement words, and repetition of positive notes, such as the gratitude, okay? Because the gratitudes are very empowering. Take time to write gratitude. What can you be grateful for? Okay, write in the chat now. What can you be grateful for? Quickly, very naturally in your mind. What are the things about you, around you, in you, from you, of you, that you can be grateful for right now, this moment? Family, very good, right? You see, you have it very naturally. There is something that we can all be grateful for. Atomy, yes. Being alive, yes. Helping others. Sometimes you don't even get a chance to help others. I'm in the helping business. I always want to help people, but sometimes I don't get a chance to help people, I promise you, because some people say no to you. Turn away, they don't come. They just refuse to make themselves available. Able to taste food, yeah. If you catch the COVID virus, your taste suddenly disappear from you, and then you realize how taste is so helpful for us. Okay, a gift of life, family, educating others. A lot of us naturally, whether you know it or not, has the ability to educate and help others. Okay, to the point that people say, oh, advice is cheap. Yeah, in that sense, it's true, because a lot of us like to say things. Okay, the only difference is when you say it and you do it, that will reinforce what you say, so that what you say become filled with evidence of what you have done, versus saying because you think it's a good saying, right? So let's move on. So gratitude. So what did you learn yesterday? What happened yesterday? What did you learn? What can you apply? Okay. And then you can, kind of put in the gratitude. Okay, I learned that people can be nasty. All right, then what can you be grateful for? Oh, I learned that Atomy is tough. Then what can you be grateful for? Atomy is still here. Example. Okay, I know that you tell people about him or him, people will give you the look at the Hong Kong's report. What can you be grateful for? Well, Hong Kong report has already gone past in history. Nobody remembers. not unless you want to repeat them unnecessarily. Okay, not that we want to hurriedly bury them because there's nothing to hide. In fact, Singapore resubmitted Hemohim for evaluation at the Health Science Authority and came back passing the colors and, come back with flying colors, passing the test. And yeah, we are able to put it back on sale again, right? So that once again, and we did that in Singapore, we did that voluntarily, which once again supported the fact that there's nothing wrong about Hemohim, nothing that can be identified with the stringent test that the HSA in Singapore applies to it. And so you can be rest assured and confident to use Hemohim and use it daily and use it on an elevated mode, actually, in view of the existing Omicron and Delta and COVID virus that we are all up against. And Hemohim is an answer, because you will look at some of the research and they will be talking about, oh, increases your NK cells. Oh, what you want from the vaccine is to increase your T cells. All these things Hemohim does for you, right? So while you have the vaccine or not have the vaccine, the point is you already have something that you can access to in the form of Hemohim that can improve all these things naturally, because Hemohim is a food-based type of supplement. And yet it's also a form of food that you can throw into your soup, into your drink, in your beverage, and just consume them, right? Versus having to take an injection, suffer the pain and the swelling and the whatever, worries that you have, each time you take them. And of course, I'm not suggesting Hemohim will replace the vaccine, all right? I'm just saying that you have Hemohim anyways, so go ahead and enjoy them. And whether you have the vaccine or not have the vaccine, then you decide based on other conditions that are pressing, okay? So establishing the mindset. So the reading, the watching of the videos, the constant exposure and involvement with training and all that will help in the mindset, right? That we all know, and that is part of the 8 core. You need to watch your Atomy channels, you need to watch your videos, you need to attend the seminars, join your team meetings, all these things, read your book, right? All these things establishes the mindset. And I want you to know, a lot of us fail in the mind rather than in the business. If you didn't do Atomy or didn't have success in Atomy, it is 95% definitely a mindset issue. And some of us don't believe it. We said that, oh, I tried this, I did that, and it didn't work. It is still a mindset issue, because it has to do with your endurance. It has to do with your belief that doing 3 times is enough. If it fails, you don't have to repeat it anymore. It is a mindset issue, because if you do 3 and it didn't work, then do 30. If you do 30 and it didn't work, do 300. It will work. Some people said it's a numbers game. It is not a numbers game. It is a mindset game. As in, you need to look at it with a fresh mentality. And how do you do that? With your training, with your reading, with your upgrading of your perception. Okay? Your perception is very, very important. So spend time reading. Guess where can we do that? Okay, right? As you watch your video and read your book and all that, you just need to do your tick in your 8 core. In your 8 core, your life scenario booklet, there is a column where you are able to tick your 8 daily core action. Just go and tick them. That would change your mindset. Oh, it's just an action. No, that will change your mindset towards your scenario plan booklet, your life scenario booklet. That is the first mindset to have. A lot of people look at that blue book and they faint. Oh, it's another homework. Oh, it's another, a chore, right? Again, it's a mindset issue. Look at your life scenario booklet and go and fill up every month, every day actually. And by the end of the month, if you see all the ticks are done, it does a very different thing on your mind and your confidence. And it is also an evidence to your brain. If you feel discouraged, if you feel you're not going to make it, if you feel that this is going nowhere, look at it. You went somewhere. You already ticked from the early days where you are not able to complete the entire month. Type a 0 for me in your group chat if you have not been able to complete your tick every day for an entire month. Not yet. You haven't even begun. You haven't completed the tick. You haven't even done your 8 call. You've done bits and pieces of it. And we understand everybody goes through that part. But let's be honest, first you must you must own up to it. So type in a group chat if you haven't done it, haven't completed it, just type a 0 in the chat. Okay, you have lapses. I also have lapses from time to time, even up to this point. Okay, how many honest people are there? Okay, it is bad for your reputation. Whoops, your leaders are seeing it 0. Haven't completed, haven't done enough. Okay, it's bad for reputation. Okay? But it's good for the soul. Huh? It's good for your confidence. Yeah, I mean, we all had this issue. So therefore, we need to get into it and get it done. And it will do wonders to your confidence, to your sense of positive. All right. Okay, and thank you very much, Mina, 0.5, that's unique. Okay, and give it a tick. And then when you flip back over the ages, over the pages, sorry, and especially when you look back at the end of the year, remember we want to finish successful at the end of the year. Now you look back 12 months, 12 pages, you look back, do you have all completed ticks? How many completed ticks? You see your progression. And that will do difference. And that is something that you can boast about, so to speak, to your team and tell them, hey, look, we all go through that. We did that. You know, when you see all pages of fully filled up ticks, it's a lot of difference. Oh, it's such a minor thing. Come on, do Atomy. We want to earn money. Forget about this kind of thing. You are wrong. All right, because for all these years that I've done resiliency with people, that have done success training with people, whether in the area of health or in the area of business, I find that the little things are the one that will make the key difference in your entire journey. That's why Atomy, the smallness will confound the bigness, will really control and influence the bigness. So let me just run on now. Okay, implement the personal motto. Okay, reinforce the mindset again, the short statement, the slogans that you want to write. Okay, revisit, reread them, and rewrite them often, right? So this is something that you want to think about. I don't know how many of you have done it since I covered this session a couple of weeks ago with the people who attended the Thursday session. And so I thought those of you who are here, this session that haven't attended the Thursday session, you can avail yourself to this information. All right, a phrase, okay, so that you want to remember for the day. A phrase that you can remember. Anyone have a phrase in mind? You want to share it with the team? You can type it in the chat, right? A phrase that will help you remember, will get you going. A phrase that you picked up so far, okay? Right? Live each day as if it is your last. That's a little morbid, but but it works. It works. Okay, live it in your last. All right. I don't do it that way. Okay, I live it. I live each day because for me, my mentality is about eternity. I have an eternity to live for. I live each day as I move on to eternity, in that sense. So each day is my experience with eternity. Okay, carpe diem. All right, yeah, that's good. Okay, succeed or die. I told you, all of us tend to have that negative streak in all of us. Okay, right, and don't let age dictate what you cannot do. Okay, what you do or what you can or cannot do. Right, yeah, phrases like that. Keep it short, keep it handy, keep it with you, keep to one, and stick with it the whole day. And one of the best phrase and new phrase that you can have every day, and it's very, very useful and very, very powerful, are the scriptures from the Holy Bible. You can, whether you are a Christian or not a Christian, you can actually avail yourself to them, because those words there can change lives. Whether you are a Christian or not a Christian, it doesn't matter. It will change life. That is my take all these years, whether I share those words with Christians or non-Christians, because there's something amazing about those words that is not crafted or invented by the human mind. And therefore, those words are what is known as spirit and life. Okay, they give life, and they are spirit, as in they would reach out to the innermost you. Sometimes in the phrase that we use for ourselves, they are not really spirit. It's more mind, because you pick it up in your brain. It is a good word. It is an intellectual exchange, but it's not spirit, because it doesn't touch you in the innermost. All right, that is the key point. That is the key point. Something that will touch you in the innermost being, the spirit part of you. Okay, it has to do with what you believe in, and more than that, it has to do with something that you will stand up for. That you will stand up for, no matter what's the situation. That is spirit type of phrase. All right, so I want to also alert you to that. So it is, if you ask yourself, oh, I've got all this kind of thing, I've done all these phrases, I feel great, I feel fine, I feel this way all the time, and I repeat them 100 times, and I still don't have success. Well, the difference is that you have intellectual phrases and you have spirit phrase. Okay, and this year with my team, I'm focusing on spirit immunity. Right, you have physical immunity, right, in the face of COVID. Then you also have soul or mental immunity in terms of mindset and in terms of going for the long term. Okay, longevity in business. And now there is a spirit immunity, where it has to do with the principle, the value system, and being real and offering life. Okay, like biotics, okay, like probiotics, okay, offering life, but in the spirit form, as in from the innermost being, from your heart, not just from a mental accent, okay, but from the deepest you, which we call the spirit part of us. All right, so phrase like that, right? So let us move on. Okay, each phrase you can document and put them into your success journal. You can have the same phrase for a week. This is what I do. I have a phrase sometimes for a week. Most times I have a phrase for the day, but I repeat them at least 7 times. And I do that for just about less than a minute or a minute every hour for about 7 hours each day. Okay, that helps me a lot if I need to get back to the spirit immunity. Okay, and I'm actually just starting that out somewhere mid last year, carrying on this year. Something that I picked up along the way that I realized can make a difference in this day and age, where a lot of people run away with they call it mindset, but my phrases, like what we said just now, those are more my phrases, and then you still don't achieve success, or you still cannot cut it. The trick is actually in your spirit immunity, spirit phrases. Now, it doesn't happen naturally. It is usually all in the mind phrase, and then by the act of the will, when you repeat them in the way that I've just described, 1 minute every hour for about 7 hours, 7 times in a day, it takes just about 3 to 4 days to have that phrase become part and parcel of you. And then that my phrase now becomes spirit phrase, and that would really strengthen your spirit, because at the end of the day, we are talking about the spirit of a man, the spirit of the person, in how, whether they can overcome difficulties, whether they can carve out a new business venture, whether they are able to, surmount all challenges and able to ride on top of all these things and make it in life. That is the spirit of the man. That's what I meant when we talk about spirit, yeah? In case all of you think that I'm going, spiritual in that sense, right? But I'm always trying to bring balance, the human person, the spiritual person, and they are all integrated. That's why I promote integrated lifestyle health in that sense. So review the long term, go to your journal, to your book, write these down. Okay, you want to start well, and you want to start with the finishing in mind. You want to prepare a document that you can look at the end of the year, looking back with all your records. So the document, which is actually your life scenario plan, okay, already readily available. Then you add to it your provision for journaling. Then you have something that I assure you, if you follow me and we follow each other, at the end of the year, we all come back and revisit this topic. You have your evidence, you have your record, you have your statement of progress. Okay, it is very, very important. If you never did that, you look back last year, it is just very dismal and very general, how you feel about your year, how you feel about what happened. And because of that, we all tend to become depressed and discouraged, and the negative and the fear built up. But when you have an evidence, it will make a lot of difference. And this is scientifically proven. It will make a lot of difference to encourage you, to push you forward, and to move you in the right direction. Some of you may think that, oh, if I have the document, it may discourage me. Well, if you have a document, then you write. And you write them. So long as you write them, it will not discourage you. It will not. Okay? Because it is the evidence of what you have been doing. It is when it is an empty journal, then of course that discourages you. Okay? So get your journal going, so that you can accomplish your daily goals and objectives, your 8 daily necessary action. Tick them, write them down, okay, put them there. And a suggestion, for example, pick 3 to 5 things as priority that you do. Do you still remember what are the first 3 things that you should be doing? Or maybe first 4 things that you should be doing in your 8 core? Anyone? In the Atomy framework of success, handed over to us so that we do not have to reinvent and recreate anything. First 4 of what you can do every day in your 8 core daily necessary action, your DNA. What's the first 4? Do you remember? Anyone? Can type it in your group chat. Read, watch VOD, that's 2. 2 more. You can continue from Teresa if you want. All right, use products, that's 1 more. So read, watch VOD, use, share, not yet. Not yet. Okay, attend, very good. All right, so basically you have read something to encourage yourself to get your statements for the day, to pick yourself up. Okay, read something, watch the VOD, not any video, watch the Atomy video. The purpose of the Atomy video is not just training in terms of knowledge, but also to be encouraged, to be able to know what you have, who is backing you up, okay, and what they say, all right? Then the third one would be attend, as in basically you see how people are doing it, and if anything, you tell yourself, if they can do it, you can do it, because we're all the same. Nobody is special. If they are Diamond Master, if they are, Crown Masters, if they are Imperial Master, They are like any other human person. If they can do it, you can do it, right? Then, of course, the rest is the mindset, right? Then the fourth one is, of course, the use of the products. So the four things you can do. And the best part is these four things, you can do them all by yourself. So it is a mindset. And if you do these four things, you are 50% past the mark and you are 80% near success. You are already 80% towards your 100% success. 80% just by doing that first four, which you can do by yourself anytime, anywhere. Then in the second four, when you begin to share the compensation plan or the Atomy business plan or Atomy products, when you do your follow-up, when you work with your leaders and when you build trust with your customers and all that, the next four, you have to do it with someone else. You cannot do alone. You have to engage people. Right? Once you understand that, then you know, all right, it is complete. It is wholesome. You spend enough time for yourself to build yourself up, and then you offer what you have to somebody else that you have to work with to complete the 8 core. So you can't succeed in Atomy by yourself because you have the next 4 that you have to deal with, and that is you can only do it with someone else. So in Atomy, you cannot do alone. You have to do with someone else. So keep yourself busy every day with someone else to complete your DNA. That is your DNA, right? And so that's what we do, okay? Rewriting, so it's very different network marketing, all right? We just focus on the DNA, improve ourselves, strengthen ourselves, encourage ourselves, okay? And document them. That's how we implement them. And basically, that is your lifestyle. Okay, I'm not going to, because of time, I'm not going to continue the rest because I don't want to go into too many other points here. I think that's enough for you guys to begin to implement. And we, of course, want to allow a time for your Q&A in that sense. All right. Let me just ask you now for Q&A. Just give me 1 minute now. Okay, back to name. Okay, are you ready? Q&A. It's not your time to ask, it's for me to ask. And for you to answer. Name the main thing that you want to finish successful. Your main thing. Okay. It's so typical, like Q&A. You guys start firing me questions. I'm not the expert. You are the expert. So I ask you a question now. All right. So name the main thing that you're going to finish successful. Come on. Type in the group now, everybody. The main thing for you, like your takeaway. All right. How are you going to finish successful? The main thing. What is needed to finish successful? Never quit. I didn't use that word. Okay, I'm just kidding. This is your word. Okay. All right. Well, it's good. It's a good takeaway. Positive attitude 8 core. All right. Okay. The word that I use is, how many of you remember? Starts with an R. A 2-syllable word. Sounds like we are playing, a 2-syllable word. Beginning with an R. Repeat could be one of them, yeah? The other one, more dogmatic than repeat. Yes, very good. Ritual. It's a ritual. It's something that you want to do religiously, so to speak. Even though I don't like religion, but all right, being religious in that sense. Okay. Ritual. Yep. All right, let's move on to the next one. Thank you very much. When you have the ritual, you can repeat. When you have the ritual, you will duplicate. When you have the ritual, you will never say die, never quit, and so on and so forth. You've got to have the ritual first. All right. And what is the key in success? Ritual? Repeat. Right? Some of you said that, right? To repeat that. Just need to do it over and over again. You can have the new in the repeat. All right. Repeat doesn't mean you do the same old thing. Okay. You do a lot of new things. All right. And you can repeat and have fun. All right. So what else is important in success? Something that you can do in your success. And we talk about by the end of the year, you look back, we want to have that evidence. So what is that? Something that you can do that is important. The journal, very good. Your scenario plan, your scenario booklet, life scenario booklet. So hopefully everybody will complete a life scenario booklet. Pick it. All right. I'm not sure in the US or in Canada whether you guys have that life scenario booklet. They are chase after your leaders. That's what leaders are for. Chase after them, ask them to help get you the life scenario booklet. If you don't already have one, make sure you have that. Use it. Use it. You don't need to reinvent the wheel, recreate something. Use it. Right? And complete it. This is something that you can do and you will definitely succeed, okay, in your Atomy lifestyle. So how to succeed? Okay. One thing that I suggested for you guys is to tick. Okay, is to tick in your life scenario book. Just be able to complete the tick. A very simple task. It will make a difference because when you look at them and you tick them, you have to ask yourself that question: is that true? Did I do it? And so on. All right. And what can you start with today? All right, tell me now, what can you start with today? What do you intend to start with from today onwards after this session? So at least I feel I can go away feeling rewarded that you guys are going to take action. What can you start with today? Be consistent with the 8 core habits. Very good. Write your journal. Very good. Yep. Take. Yep. If you don't take, just put the clock in front of you, shut every other noise, and you will hear it. All right. Take. Journaling and take. Yes, do that. A very simple task, and yet a task that not everybody want to discipline yourself to do it. Discipline is not it's not a dirty word. It's not. Because if you don't do it, you just have to come back to it again. If you don't, clean up your room, when you were young, your parents will chase after you. And now when you're much older, if you don't do that, your husband or your spouse, your wife will chase after you. All right, anyways, right. So why do you want to, be chased after or repeat it? Just get it right. So that's discipline. You get it right the first time and your job is done. Okay, and with that, thank you very much, everyone. I hope you have something that you are able to take away and that you would get down to do. Simple, you already know them, then just do it. Okay, and do it repeatedly, do it and be done with it every day, get it over, and you will have something to offer when you do the next 4 interacting with people. All right, over to you and to every one of you, in case you have questions, in case you have anything that now you want to ask me.
Thank you so much, Generous Master James Chung. Let's give another big round of applause for his lecture. Amazing. I hope everyone is staying awake because it's almost 9 p.m. here in Canada.
Wow.
So I only have one question. It was sent directly to me, but it was not related to the topic. It's more to the product. Is that okay, James?
Yeah, sure.
Probably she watched your video about the Hong Sam Dan. So she had this question from Erlin Bernard. Okay, here's the question just in case about Hong Sam Dan. Some recommends that to maximize its benefits, you should take ginseng in 2 to 3 weeks cycles with a 1 or 2 week break in between. What's James' view about this?
All right. There is no clear-cut formula. There is no scientific evidence, right? Basically, that can be done if you believe in it. And if you take that every day for the next 1-2 years, because you believe it's helpful for you, you can also do that. right? I take them. I don't take them every day religiously. I don't have a fixed strategy. I just take them when I feel that I need a little bit of a booster. Okay, the background is that red ginseng is more a culture-based product, in the sense that the Koreans are taking it from young. They have the habit, they have the belief, and it does work for them because of the environment, because of the climate. Okay, plus the rest of the lifestyle, it affects them. Okay, so they believe in it, they take it, and that's great, no problem. In the population groups outside Korea, where they do start to take it, most of them, the body is different. Okay, they can still take red ginseng. They may or may not experience symptoms, accompanying symptoms, because they are introducing something into the body that they are not accustomed to. They can improve, get better on, or have no effect. That's the only two things that will happen. There will not be a negative effect, because these are food-based type of supplement, nothing chemical, synthetic in that sense. And so it either work and work well, or it just doesn't work, but it doesn't worsen. Do not worry about overdosing, because all supplement dosage are basically at a very low level because of public health, right? No company will set it at a level that if you take 2, you're going to, something will happen to you. No. So like even in the case of Hemohim, you have to take up to more than 200 sachets in one go before something can turn bad for you. Right? So most supplement, most 99.99%, they do not cause something to turn bad, okay, soon enough, because the dose is low, unless you take them above the recommended dose, unless the product itself is suspect. So I'm just going to assume that we are always wanting to use a good quality product. Having said that, 67% of products in the market are not quality products. 67%, just so you know. So you cannot assume that when you buy something off the shelf, they are quality products because the label says so. Don't trust the label. Every day I'm looking at emails from the industry that talks about labeling, and the kind of things that happen when they do labeling. Okay, that would astound you. Okay, I cannot believe some of the things they're trying to do in the labeling just for the sake of, the economic benefit of products. Right? So don't believe the label all the time. Know the people who did the label. So for Atomy, quite safe. They even tell you all their mistakes in the label. Okay. All right, so you can trust Atomy because of the language limitation in some way. All right, I hope that answers your question. Go right ahead, do it the way you feel that you want to do. Don't be compelled by that. I don't mean free for all, do anything like you want. Generally, you can take every day for as long as you like. One a day will do for whole Sunday. You can give yourself a break. Sometimes giving yourself a break is always a good thing. From time to time, I do give myself a break from certain things. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
I hope that answers. Okay. So no more questions, James. So we're gonna end this session. So I'm going to share the last slide. Our company motto. If anyone can open your video, open your microphone, we're gonna recite one more time, and then we close the session. All right. Are we all ready?
Yeah.
Go.
Honey,
Cherish
wait
the spirit.
Cherish the spirit.
Cherish the spirit, create the vision,
Follow the
follow the
faith.
faith,
Serve
serve
in
in humility.
humility. Aja, aja, aja.
Aja.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, James, for your time.
Thank you,
Thank you
James.
so
Thank you,
much.
James.
Bye bye, everyone. Have a good night. Have a good morning there in Singapore. Bye, Ju.
Bye.
In
Bye bye.
Australia.
Bye
Bye
everyone.
bye.
Bye.
구독, 좋아요 눌러주세요.